79 kicks off deep, and down to receive the ball is, and breaking through is number 9, Corey Lee, and he's tackled it at about the 46-yard line of Bowie by number 50, Derek Marshall. Big return for Bowie, setting up very good field position, and he was one. Corey Lee, number 9, was one tackler away from breaking it all the way. We're here with All-Star Sports. This is Charles Lewis. We're all over the D.C. area covering all types of sports events for you on cable. And pitch to the right to Myron Dent. Did the bulk of the carrying in the first half, and he's brought down up to gain about 1 to the 46. We've got 77, Paul, we'll get it for you in a second. Paul Imalino, I believe, who was a very prominent player in that game last week, making the tackle, in on the tackle for Oxon Hill. We got about a second and almost 10, second and 9.5, about the 46-yard line of Bowie. The drive started about the 45.5. It's out to the 46. And under center, Barnes with a handoff again. I believe it's to the one back to Myron Dent. He again gets about a half a yard to a yard. We got a flag on the play, I understand. We'll be covering the best in high school football, basketball. We intend to do some boxing, maybe some kickboxing. All sorts of spots from around the D.C. area and beyond. And I'll be doing my homework a little better, I promise you, as the season goes on. And we got a personal foul, I believe, after the play against Bowie, against Oxon Hill, I'm sorry. And the irony of this is that the miscues, the mistakes, turnovers, the penalties that worked so much to Oxon Hill's advantage in the game we covered last week, in the key situations especially, are working against them today. It was going to be about a 3rd and 9. Instead, Bowie has the ball now on the 37-yard line of Oxon Hill, 1st and 10. On the center again is Roger Barnes, the quarterback, and it's a quick draw play up the middle. I believe it's 19, Frank George. He's tackled by, among others, Andre Jones, number 44. Gain only of about 1. First half was very evenly played. The difference was a couple of turnovers by Oxon Hill, and the one big play, a 68-yard touchdown pass from William Smith to Jermaine Arrington. And it's 8-0 here early in the 3rd quarter. We got 9:20 left. 8-0 favor of Bowie. The team in white with the ball. Back to pass, under pressure, if he gets it off. Pass intended for John Lucas. And so we got a 3rd and 9 as Roger Barnes overthrows the intended receiver. He was under some heat. I did not get the number. But again, on 1st and 2nd down, we got about a 3rd and about 8 where the ball is marked closer to the 36th than the 37 of Oxon Hill. But again, on 1st and 2nd down, Oxon Hill is tough. 13 out here on the left side is Monty Bosek, who made a very good catch early in the game. And we got a slot and a wide receiver out to the right. Under pressure again and hit just as he throws the ball by number 54, Jason Tisdale, who made a big play in the first half. Is Roger Barnes. And there's a flag on the play again, just as Oxon Hill is able to stop Bowie on 3rd down. second straight down. Oh, we got a face mask against Oxon Hill. It's almost as if it had been scripted. Again, they stop Bowie for 3 plays. They make a big play on third down with a hit. And they dig another hole for themselves. They're marching back. And it's not a 5-yarder either. It's a big one. Oxon Hill played comparatively error-free football, comparatively, that is, with their opponent, Coolidge, which made a lot of mistakes, particularly in key situations. Now they're beating themselves a week later. So that moves the ball down to about, call it the 22-yard line of Oxon Hill. And Bowie is in very grave, threatening position. And the give on the left side, again to Dent. He's tackled by Dockett, probably the leading tackler today for Oxon Hill. And he's brought down up a gain of about 4, let's call it, to the 18-yard line, if I'm spotting it correctly. Pass for a touchdown to Jermaine Arrington, number 8, who caught the other touchdown. But I think it'll be nullified. I think we've got a hold perhaps in the backfield. Yeah, they just waved the touchdown off. And we're going to have a march off, I guess, about 10 yards. I believe the flag was thrown in the area where holding is the likely call. And I believe that's what it was. They're marching way back. And they're a little bit dejected. They marched, the Bowie team has marched back about 30 yards to 25. I guess it feels like a penalty of that length. And in actuality, since it nullified a touchdown of about 17, well, hey, it's a long one, too. It's about a 15-yarder. Ouch. That's the first major miscue of the game for Bowie. The first one that really hurts like that. The ball is all the way out to the 37-yard line. They've got to get the ball to the 12. So we've got a 2nd and 25. That makes sense. First, or does it? I'm not sure. A 15-yard penalty for some infraction in the backfield. I didn't get the signal either. I'm doing great. But I can tell you it's 2nd and 25. I can tell you the quarterback is Roger Barnes. And I can tell you he's back to pass off a play fake, and he's going deep. And it's intercepted that time. The guy that missed the interception on the touchdown play, the stellar player for Oxon Hill, number 1, Paul Rivers, makes a beautiful diving catch. The receiver was double covered. The ball was kind of up for grabs, but what an athletic play in the end zone. Whoa, whoa, okay. According to the mark, did they rule him out of bounds? They ruled it incomplete? Well, you guys got a better view of it, I'm sure, than I did. Evidently, he was ruled out of bounds on the play. Did appear to make the catch. You tell me, folks. Call it in. Let us know. But it is 3rd down and 37. 3rd down at the 37. 3rd and 25 yards to go. And let's see if they get conservative or go for one more big one. I think they're going to go for a big one. I thought they were. And it's knocked away. Oh, they're ruling it an incomplete pass. But as far as I was concerned, Andre Jones knocked that ball away. While Roger Barnes, the quarterback, had it cocked. I did not see his arm in motion at all. And we could have seen a very, very big play on each of the last 2 downs for Oxon Hill. Although the first one, the nullification of the apparent interception didn't cost them that much. That cost them at very least great field position and possession of the ball. Although we do have a 4th down and 25 at the 37 of Oxon Hill. Bowie in possession. They're leading 8-0, and they're lining up. Are they going for it? Hey, no, they're not. In front formation, again, it's Marty Bosek, number 13. Short punt formation, and he gets it off. ball is not fielded. It rolls out of bounds. Hey, a very good field position for the punting team, but only at the 13-yard line. And Oxon Hill will start deep in its own territory. As we got unofficially on the scoreboard, we have 6:15. Now, we were off 3 minutes at the end of the last quarter, so I can't guarantee anything. There's 6:15 left to go in the third quarter, according to the best information that we have here at All-Star Sports. 6:10 now, the clock is running. And Oxon Hill has a 1st and 10. Oxon Hill's been unable to generate anything substantial offensively. They were able to move the ball on a couple of occasions, only to have drives killed by penalties, fumbles. They haven't really threatened to score. And under center is Omar Jackson. And ball given off to the right side to number 3, Lamont Smith, and he's gang tackled. That's Corey Lee, number 9, among the tacklers for Bowie. Gain is only of about 3, say, to the 16, and maybe 17-yard line. Approximately 2nd and 7. We were looking at the offensive line, 65, 55. That's Eric Pullen and Keith Dockett, respectively. Over on the other side, don't have a good angle again. On defense, we got 52 and 54, Muchler and Williams. We've got 70, and we have a flag on the play, 70, Richard Marintz. We got 19, Frank George. We got number 5, Roger Barnes, the quarterback. We got 52, Jason Muchler. We have 8, Jerome Arrington. The call is offsides on the defense, and we got a 3-5 awarded to Oxon Hill, giving them about a 2nd and 2. Looking at 40. We don't have 40 listed, but we got a 40 on defense for Bowie. We'll try to see if we can get his name. Oh, big run up the middle and a cut back again on one defender away. Hey, yeah, 40 makes the tackle naturally for Bowie. One defender away from breaking it again is Paul Rivers, number 1. That gain from about the 22 up to the 33-yard line, gain of 11 and 1st down. And I have to offer the conjecture that if Oxon Hill is to generate anything, is to get back in this ball game, is to score some points, they need to put the ball in that man's hands as often as they can, and they generally do. And hey, a very hard running carry by 33, John May, the fullback. We got an injured player on the ground for Oxon Hill. John May breaking through a couple of tackles and bringing the ball up to the 40-yard line, giving us a 2nd and 7. And the injured player appears to be 55, Keith Dockett, on his feet. But I think he's going to have to come out. It's some type of a leg injury. He's back seated. Appears like it's the left ankle. Trainer's out working on it. And we've got a timeout taken, of course, for the injury by Oxon Hill. Let's see if we can spot a few more people for you while we're waiting. We got 54 in the game for Oxon Hill, Dante Williams. We got, I'm sorry, Dante, for what did I say? I'm reading off the wrong roster. Okay, let's see if we can get some people spotted for Oxon Hill. 65 is Eric Pullen. 54 is Jason Tisdale. 60, we got Edward Mayo. And they're helping Dockett, who's been a prominent player in each of our first 2 games that we've covered for you for Oxon Hill. They're helping him off. It doesn't look like he's going to be playing much the rest of this game. I don't think it's a knee. I hope it's not a knee. But he is definitely not stepping with that left ankle. And we got 81 off on the right flank. That's Jeff Buckland for Oxon Hill. And on this side we got will spot him later. Okay, again it's Rivers. Just giving the ball, isolating. He's got 20, 25 yards. He's down to the 40-yard line, or 41-yard line of Bowie. And we got Frank George, 19, spotted on the tackle. What they need to do is get Rivers isolated on the outside as frequently as possible. He's dynamite in the open field. He was great last week against Coolidge in the open field. They can get him the ball in position where there's not more than one or two defenders. He's going to shake one or two of them. He's doing that consistently. He'll break tackles. He's got good moves. And right now, he's the offense for Oxon Hill as they start 1st and 10 on the 41-yard line of Bowie. They shift. Uh-oh, we may have a delay of game. Again, the unnecessary mistakes, the unforced errors, the freebies. Setting Oxon Hill back. They've got 1st and 15 now. Ball is between the 46 and 47. Might even be closer to the 47. But so let's call it 1st and 15 at the 47. As they start this possession or this particular series in a whole. This carry is by Lamont Smith, and he gets the 5 yards back, maybe another half a yard. And he's tackled by 65, Barry Vargas. But again, sweep to the outside. There hasn't been that much open up the middle as Bowie has stopped things up pretty well. Spotting some more people for Bowie on defense. We got 42, Thomas Kennedy. He's in the middle doing some of the stopping up. And we got, again, 5, Roger Barnes, the quarterback, 8, Jermaine Arrington. Pretty much the same people that we see on offense. There's Smith again. Up the middle is not available. We got 70, 55. That's Richard Lorenz and Todd. I got it. Todd Wacaster, if that's not a misprint. And we got Jason Mutchler in there as well. That's 51. And with the loss, we've got a 3rd and 12 from the 44-yard line, and they spend another timeout. 2:35 unofficially remaining in the 3rd period. We score 8-0. Charles Lewis here for All-Star Sports. We'll be with you throughout the season, throughout the football season. We're covering all types of sports events through the various cable systems and networks in the Washington, D.C. area. We're very pleased to be with you. We ask your indulgence for whatever shortcomings we currently have, but we're building, we're on the move, we're growing, and we're going to get better at what we do. This is a critical situation for Oxon Hill. As you know, in high school football, 12-minute quarters, the clock runs a lot, in a lot of situations where it doesn't at the pro level, for instance, and in college. May not be that many more possessions. They got the ball on the Bowie side of midfield, and they like to convert. They've been moving the ball well on this drive. Penalty hurt them. 2-yard loss hurt them. Again, the openings are out wide, especially on the right side. Up the middle, there's been nothing. And going to the air, and the interception, potential interception, dropped by Dante Williams, number 54. That gives us a 4th and 12 as Omar Jackson was way off with that pass, throwing into coverage. And I assume we're going to see Paul Rivers in punt formation. And I assume wrong. And we got a quick timeout. Bowie had dropped a man back in to receive the punt. Now they see that apparently Oxon Hill is not going to punt, and Bowie has to spend a timeout to get the right personnel back out on the field. So now they quick kick, right? I don't know. 12 yards to go on 4th down. on the opponent's 44. This seems like an impulsive call to go for it with still some time left in the third quarter and only trailing by 8. Maybe the way they view this, though, the chance to tie is not good enough. You know, of course, if they score a touchdown, they can tie with a 2-point conversion. And maybe the way they're looking at this is that they've got to score twice. So, hey, it's hurry-up offense already. They moved the ball running wide, both with Paul Rivers and Vermont Smith in this drive. Hasn't been there up the middle for the most part. They've got these swift, big, strong backs with good moves. And they'd like to get them isolated, I'm sure. So here it is, 4th and 12. And it's gamble time already with a couple minutes left in the third quarter. Back to pass is Jackson. He's looking real long into coverage. And the ball is almost caught by number 10, Tim Williams. And it was wrestled away from him by number 5, Roger Barnes. And Bowie takes over. And that's the second big play made by an opposing quarterback off a pass by his counterpart. As you may remember, in the first half, there was a big interception made by Jackson off of a pass by Barnes. This time, Barnes wrestles the ball away from receiver Tim Williams, who was about to make a big catch. After the ball was thrown into coverage, Williams cut in front of the defender and actually had the ball virtually, well, he had it under control, just not long enough for it to be ruled a catch. And the play was made, I believe, by Roger Barnes, who is now back to pass off a play fake. Looking long, receiver open, but ball is overthrown. And Lamont Williams, number 3, on the coverage, did a good job of recovering and being in a little bit better position on John Lucas. The ball was overthrown in any event. So we got a 2nd and 10 for Bowie. Ball is located at their own 44-yard line. Off the unsuccessful gamble on 4th and 12 by Oxon Hill. This is high school football, and you tend to see a great deal of spirit, a great deal of competitiveness. And hey, some calls are made by coaches who aren't under the gun by alumni committees that are after their job. Hey, and they can make some gutty calls, as we saw just there. It failed, but they're still in the game and under pressure, and it's bobbled, knocked away, and intercepted by Paul Rivers. Ball was hit by 2, if I'm not mistaken, 2 Oxon Hill defenders. Paul Rivers makes the interception and returns the ball down to the 42. We've got an injured player for Bowie. Barnes under pressure on that pass. Ball was tipped and then tipped again, and Rivers coming through again with a big play. Made the interception around the 50-yard line. Runs it down to about the 42 where it's 1st and 10. And nothing lost in the transition. Second big turnover, both interceptions, I believe, for... that's definitely the second interception. I don't recall if there's been a fumble recovery, but second big interception. And I believe the second turnover overall for Oxon Hill, taking the ball away from Bowie. So things starting to even up in that department. They're knocking on the door. We don't see the number of the injured player, but he's moving a little bit. Don't know if he had the wind knocked out of him, but they're attending to him. An injured player for Bowie. The clock says 1 minute and 23 left to go in the third quarter. Oxon Hill with the ball on the 42-yard line of Bowie, trailing 8-0, and he's getting up. And that's number 8, the scorer of the touchdown, Jermaine Harrington, and he's fine. As I thought, he apparently just had his bell rung momentarily. It hurts more on a turnover. It hurts more on a play that's going against you. He might have gotten right back up if it had been a big play for Bowie, but he appears to be fine. And critical possession again for Oxon Hill. And ball given on a sweep right up the middle, or off tackle to Rivers again. And again, there's nothing available inside the tackle. Checking for the signal at the sideline is Omar Jackson. So we got a 2nd and 10. And this time he's going wide. This time he has room. Hey, that's of course Paul Rivers again. Tackled on a shoestring grab by Barnes. Rivers is a very, very exciting player. He gained about, let's see, from the 43 to the 28, a gain of about 15 on that play. Rivers is capable of breaking it on any occasion that he's able to get to the outside. At least 3 or 4 times a day. He's been very close to going all the way. 3 times in our previous game as the quarter ends. The score 8-0 Bowie. 3 times last week against Coolidge, he did break it all the way. And we're with you, All-Star Sports. Oxon Hill trying to punch it in, closing in on the goal line. Ball at the 28-yard line of Bowie. That's the deepest penetration I can recall for Oxon Hill. They trail 8-0. 12 minutes to go as the 4th quarter is about to begin. It's been pretty evident that the openings are outside the tackles for Oxon Hill. Going's been very tough on the inside. And of course, the man that's got to do it for him is their all-everything player, the punter. Defensive backs, he's made some big plays. And the outstanding running back, and we're talking about Paul Rivers, number 1. They line up with a wide receiver out to the left side, and the play goes to the right, and cutting it back again is, this time it's Lamont Smith, and he's going all the way inside the 20, inside the 10, if I'm not mistaken. We'll spot it for you. Somewhere around the 5. He was about 1 broken tackle away from going all the way. And we've got ourselves a ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Jermaine Howard, number 6, coming out of the game, appears to be limping slightly. Clinton Burns, number 76 in the game for Oxon Hill at tackle. And that's John May breaking 1 tackle, getting very close to the goal line, but not in. Got a 2nd and goal for Oxon Hill. Ball is, I guess, around the 2, 3-yard line of Bowie. Got about 11:25 remaining in the game. Oxon Hill threatening. They're down by 8. In the backfield, Smith and Rivers. And there's a miscue. I think we may have another fumble. I see a Bowie player with the ball. Or do I? Am I hallucinating? Apparently there's not a change of possession, but a wasted play at very least, as the ball is moved forward only, or the change of stick is moved forward only about a foot. And now it's 3rd and goal about the 2. Coming out of the game is 33, John May. Andre Jones, number 44, who carried the ball a little bit more last week against Coolidge, takes his place. That's Omar Jackson at quarterback. And there goes Rivers, and he's in. Over left tackle. Paul Rivers is in for the score. And now we await an apparent 2-point conversion attempt. I don't know. They've got an outstanding place kicker, number 79, Wayne Rumsey. He's almost automatic. But I don't know at this point if they're going to even consider that. They may not like the tie, but a tie is better than a loss. And an extra point at this point gets them virtually nothing. because they're still within a field goal, even if they miss the two-point conversion of winning the game. So they're of course going for two. Same backfield in the game. We got 81 Jeff Buckland out to the right, and the give is to Rivers, but it's up the middle, and it's not their big play by 42. Thomas Kennedy for Bowie. And the score remains 8-6. But we've got unofficially 10:27 remaining in the fourth quarter, and we've got ourselves a ball game. Big defensive play. And I'm not sure if I called it right, but it looked like 42 Thomas Kennedy on the stop for Bowie. All-Star Sports, this is Charles Lewis. And we've got about 10 minutes and some seconds left in this ball game here at Oxon Hill. The weather has gotten a little bit nicer through the course of the game, and it feels like it's about 75. The breeze has died down, and most of the clouds have disappeared. Of course, probably feels a lot worse to the players out there who have to labor in this heat as we get down the stretch. As you may have heard, that's Wayne Rumsey kicking off. We got number 8 deep, Jermaine Arrington. We got, I believe that's 22, Myron Dent. And 10, if I'm not mistaken, John Lucas. Thought we saw Corey Lee on an earlier return. I may have been mistaken. That might have been Arrington. I see he's in the middle. Corey Lee is number 8. Arrington is number 9, and it's coming to, I had that reverse. That's Arrington, number 8, coming up the middle, tackled around the 25-yard line. Let me straighten out what I was saying. Arrington is number 8, Lee is number 9, and it's 1st and 10, and let's see where the ball is spotted, about the 27-yard line of Bowie. They got to generate some offense. The momentum is swung here. What they need to do is get a couple first downs, or hey, well, they've made a couple big plays today, maybe a big play at this point to give the ball back to Oxon Hill without taking some time off the clock and moving the ball somewhat down the field. Will put Oxon Hill in a very advantageous emotional position, even though they trail 8-6. So let's see if they can start anything. Myron Dent's done the bulk of the carrying, and he gets the ball again, I believe. No, I'm sorry, that's Arrington with the carry off to the right side, and he's run out of bounds after a gain of about 3, I'd say. Let's see where they're spotted. Oh, it's about 4 yards on the carry, the ball being spotted about the 31. And I know you hear these pom-pom girls or Pep Squad or whatever I got in front of me. And that's part of high school football too, isn't it? That's the Oxon Hill squad trying to pump some extra energy into the defense, which faces a 2nd and 6 situation, and that's a good strong carry by Myron Dent up the left side. He's tackled by, among others, 77 Paul Emarlino. He's out across the 40 to the, well, he's just not at the 40, so we got a 1st and 10 for Bowie. Coming out of the game is 74 for Oxon Hill. And that's what Bowie needs to do. Block hard, run hard, mix the plays up, move the ball. Take some of that motion and momentum away from Oxon Hill, which just scored. Clock says 8:58 remaining. Clock is stopped. 8-6 in favor of Bowie, which has the ball. Bowie, the visiting team. something under discussion with the officials here. 56 coming in the game for Oxon Hill is Perry White. And they've got to get a player off real quick or else they'll be in violation. That's number 2, Joe Adams, coming out. He may just have made it, I'm not sure. That was, I believe, Rivers on the tackle of Frank George, number 19. George gets 5 yards up the middle to the 45. Rivers was a nice submarine tackle. But hey, if they can keep getting these 5, 7 yards at a chunk, they can run out a significant portion of this clock. Hey, eventually score again. Salt this game away. Excellent blocking by the front wall in the last few plays. And that's Dent. He's off the left side. He's got 5, 7, 8, 9. And again, Rivers on the tackle along the sideline. And it's another first down as the ball goes across midfield to the 47-yard line of Oxon Hill. Comes down to the trenches as so many games do. Most games, I assume, do. And at this point, the front line for Bowie appears to be a lot fresher than the defensive front for Oxon Hill. At my angle, I'm having a hard time spotting him, but I got to give him credit nonetheless. And this time there's a counter to a Dent, and the first hit made on the play by 54, Jason Tisdale. And that's a loss of about a yard, maybe the 48-yard line. Call it a loss of, a loss of a yard and a half. Second and about 11 and a half to go for Bowie. Somewhere between the 48 and the 49-yard line of Oxon Hill. The quarterback is Roger Barnes, number 5. Set back behind him are Jermaine Arrington, number 8, and 22 Byron Dent. No, I'm sorry. That's 19 George. And off the right side on a scramble, the rollout is Barnes. He's hit by, it looks like 44 again. Andre Jones and Toby Shiplett, 41. It's a nice little gain. Gives them about a 3rd and 7. The ball inside the 45, call it the 44. Oh, it's just past the 44, really. And let's call it 6 yards to go. We're dealing in fractions here. I know how hard they are being a math teacher, but I respect the intelligence of our listeners here at All-Star Sports. Plus, I'm acting silly as my kids right now. Hey, sillier. I usually do. Hey, I'm the one that gives the grades. Okay, up the middle with a little hop and a skip, and not the first down, but a couple-yard gain is who? They tell us it's 22 Dent. I had a hard time seeing him. And it's 4th and 3 now with the ball at the 40-yard line. They'll definitely go for this. No, they'll definitely go for this punt is what I meant to say. Try to pin Oxon Hill back. We got a timeout again. Second time during the game, some indecision or lack of awareness, lack of ability to predict whether an offense was going to punt or go for it on 4th down has created a situation where defense has called a timeout. I believe that's a timeout for Oxon Hill. It might be a timeout for Bowie, maybe discussing whether to go for this. I don't know. I was of the impression, actually, that Oxon Hill had used his timeout for this half. We won't be able to find that out for you at this point. But we do know it's a timeout. Hey, if they come out and go for it, then we'll assume that it was a Bowie timeout. But punt does make some sense in it. Too, if they can pin Oxon Hill deep in its own territory, like the way they were pinned in their territory a little bit earlier. I think it started the previous drive. And they are punting. It'll be pretty difficult to get the ball in field goal range. But look back there, you see number 1 this time, Paul Rivers, to receive the punt, but it doesn't get anywhere near him. But it rolls backwards, and they only get a very short punt, about 10 yards or so. And the field position is not that bad for Oxon Hill. If they start with a 1st and 10, well, you always start with a 1st and 10, don't you? At the 28-yard line, 29 maybe. Their own. And we have on the unofficial clock 5:19 or 5:18, 5:17, 5:16. You get the idea. It's going like that. And this may be their last opportunity to get back in this ball game or to win it. And you know they've got a very good place kicker in Wayne Rumsey, so they don't have to go all the way. And up the middle with a big burst. Hey, he can run it outside or in, and that's oh, he's still going. Paul Rivers. Very, very impressive senior, Paul Rivers, number 1. And he busted up the middle from the 29 all the way out to the 45, a gain of 16 and a 1st down. And it's emotion time here down in the stretch of the 4th quarter. On the stretch of the 4th quarter. And I'm excited, obviously. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Big play to start things off in this drive. And it's Paul Rivers doing everything as usual for Oxon Hill. He's got it again. He's off the left side. He's only got about 4. The ball's at the 49-yard line. Looked like maybe 13 Marty Bosek in on the tackle. That's a gain of 3 the way they have it spotted at the 48. 4:07 apparently left in the game. Got Omar Jackson, as always, at quarterback. You got Rivers on a slot to the right. And that's this time with the ball and switching it is the other back who hasn't been heard from as much, and that's Lamont Smith. Started with it off to the left side and cut back to the right, switched it to his right. And gained about, let's see, from the 48 to the 37, I believe. I guess that's the 40. That is the 40. I'm sure it's the 40. Of Bowie, and it's the 1st and 10 with a gain of 12. In the backfield, we got May. We got Rivers, who's carrying it off to the left side, and he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a very short game. The better big games have been to the right side, for the most part, for Rivers. Gain of 1, 3:17 apparently left in the game. And we got a timeout. Gotta think it's an Oxon Hill timeout. I didn't see the signal. You probably did. I wasn't looking. And is it a timeout? They're lining up to run another play? And no. It's a short timeout, 25-second timeout, huh? Well, the logistic people are off the field, but the players are still in the huddle. Score is 8-6 in favor of visiting Bowie Bulldogs over Oxon Hill. The clock says 3:17, so we'll go by that. Oxon Hill, however, is on the move. The ball on the 39-yard line, 2nd and about 9 in Bowie territory. In the backfield, May and Rivers, along with quarterback Omar Jackson, who's back to pass. He's under pressure. He doesn't see it, but he's got a wide open Lamont Smith, who breaks the tackle along the right sideline. It's finally brought down by number 54, Dante Williams. He's got a 1st down. Ball is not. I'll get it for you in a second. About the 25-yard line, is that? know how much time is left. I guess the players and coaches do. We're inside 3 minutes on the clock. The last quarter ended with about 3 minutes left. So we could be very close to the end of this game. Or it could be a lot more than 3 minutes left, who knows. Ball is dropped by Paul Rivers. Rolling out against the grain was quarterback Omar Jackson, number 4. And pass was a little bit behind Rivers, but it was very catchable. Rivers has made very few miscues today, though. And he could make a whole lot more and still be a very positive force for this Oxon Hill team because he gives them a lot in a lot of areas. I have to think that he's an all-metropolitan candidate, what he showed me over these last 2 games. So we got 2nd and 10. I call it the 25. Again, they're back to pass. He cuts back up. He gets it off. And again, it's for Rivers. He was hit by, I believe, 42 again. He made a big play earlier, Thomas Kennedy. And he was able to get the ball away, shovel style, but was not able to get it all the way to Paul Rivers. They've run the pass the last couple of downs, probably because of concern for the little bit of time remaining in the game. But the running game was what got them down here. Well, they're passing again. And number 10, and that's interference. Number 10 was Tim Williams. He was open on the play, but he did not come back for the ball like he probably should have. And the defender, I did not get the number. Defender went over his back, going for the ball. It was more or less incidental contact, but it was a callable infraction. You can't really complain about it. He went through Tim Williams to make the play, and that gives new life to Oxon Hill. We got an injured player down on about the 5-yard line, and I'm not even sure which team player is on. I believe that may be a Bowie. Well, of course, it may be a Bowie player. Yeah, I believe it is a Bowie player. I don't have a number, and I'm not even sure if it's a Bowie player. We haven't seen any, or I haven't noticed. Maybe I blew that one too. I'm sure we're inside 4 minutes. I don't remember the 4-minute warning. I know I didn't tell you guys about it. But we're definitely inside 4 minutes, I'd say. And the injured player is the other number 10. That's Lucas, John Lucas. Hey, John Lucas, you should wear number 10, right? You guys go back a few years with me. Houston Rockets and Maryland Terrapins. You know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, hey, you don't get it. I know these kids, these high school kids don't know what I'm talking about. But, hey, that dates me, doesn't it? Okay, we got a 1st and 10. Ball's approximately at the 12-yard line. And there's Rivers again, but it's up the middle, and there's nothing there. We got 1:49 unofficially on the clock. He might have gotten the ball close to the 10-yard line where I can't get the number. I think that was 70 Marinza in on the tackle. And we got a very peculiar occurrences. Number 55, lineman Keith Dockett, knocked off his feet about 3-4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. We have a penalty flag, I assume. I don't see one, but we're about to march it off. No, they're not. They just reached by the ball. No call? Hey, fans, this is a very exciting point of the game. We've got an 8-6 score. We've got an excellent place kicker, Wayne Rumsey, capable of hitting from the 30 or so yard distance from which he'd have to hit even if the ball is not moved any further forward for Oxon Hill. And they trail by 2. Only thing I can't tell you is exactly how much time is left in the game. But right now, I think we're going to see some running plays. They have enough confidence in Rumsey that they don't feel like they need to score. But there goes Rivers off the left side. He's got some room. He fumbles. No, they say he was down, and I believe he was. His knee hit. Rivers, of course, carrying the ball on the left side of the field with the ball in his right hand. That's asking for a fumble. But his knee did go down instant before he coughed it up, according to the way I saw it. Now it's 4th down, but Wayne Rumsey, it's on his toe right now. He certainly didn't center the ball. That is to say, put it in the center of the field with that carry. So Rumsey has a severe angle from the left side. He's got an excellent leg. We got a timeout call, perhaps, to ice his nerves. And Wayne Rumsey, of course, kicked a pretty long field goal in the game that we covered for you last week. It's 4th down. The ball is about the 10-yard line, which means we're looking at maybe a 27-yard field goal attempt. You add 17 normally. And clock says, I think 125 perhaps. The ball or two out. Can't tell you for sure, but I got a feeling it's less time than that. There is a time out on the field. Wayne Rumsey, the loneliness of the place kicker. He's standing just outside the huddle, but he's pretty much by himself. He's certainly capable from this distance. He's an outstanding place kicker. And it's simply up to his guts now. More than the toe. Of course, the snap is important. The hold. And Bowie calling another timeout. The tension is really mounting here, as if it weren't already very high. This may even be the last play of the game. We may be that close to the end. But assuming that Bowie called both timeouts, and I think they did, they may have left themselves a few seconds in case this kick is good. But we were very close to the end of this game. Very hard-fought contest, and a very hard-spoken pair of words. And they're ready. On the hold is number 4, quarterback Omar Jackson. We're looking for a good snap, a clean kick. He gets it off, and it looks good. Good, 9-8, 27-yard field goal by Wayne Rumsey. Puts Oxon Hill ahead for the first time in the game. And boy, how can you top this? 17 points scored, and yet I defy you to come up with any more excitement than we're feeling right now along the Oxon Hill sideline. I can't tell you how much time is left. The clock says 1:20. There's certainly enough time for at least the kickoff. The game is definitely not over. Celebrating is not in order at this point. Too close. Anything can happen. One big play, and this game turns around again. Bowie got to feel real dejected at this stage, though. They led almost all the way. Scored on their very first possession. Oxon Hill did not get on the board till the second half. And it's again the hero, Wayne Rumsey. Can I say Wayne Rumsey? I'm excited. He's kicking off. Back deep is Arrington, Jermaine Arrington, number 8, along with a couple of teammates, John Lucas and Myron Dent. And it's coming, well, it's taken by a up man and handed back to Arrington, and he is thrown down. Let's see if we can get a spot. Oh, we got a penalty for celebrating. That was 52, I believe. That's Eli Cruz. And I believe, oh boy, I hate to see this, but hey, Bowie is back, given a little bit of life, as we'll probably have a 15-yard penalty marched off because the officials, and I hate this rule, are saying that, well, they're simply enforcing the rule. I can't blame them. Oxon Hill celebrated, and I warned them a couple seconds ago about celebrating. a little bit too demonstrably, or a little bit too openly and happily, exuberantly, there's the word. And so the ball is out at about the 33-yard line, and back to pass is Barnes out on the right side, and there's a missed tackle, and number 9 is in the open field, breaks another tackle. That's Corey Lee, scored the two-point conversion. He is finally brought down about the 45-yard line of Bowie, maybe the 44. The pass was a swing pass out in the left flat. Corey Lee was caught behind the line of scrimmage, broke one tackle, broke about two more on that run. He really wants it. Big gain, but still only up to the 44-yard line with probably under a minute to go. If I knew what the exact time was, I guess I could crystallize the excitement a little more. I'm excited. I'm not exactly sure right what about. We might have one play left, 3 or 4, or maybe more than that. But the score is 9-8 in favor of Oxon Hill, and we're late in the fourth quarter. Bowie has the ball at their own 44 with a 1st and 10. There's a flag on the play. Back to pass is Barnes, looking long. The pass is short. It's anybody. Almost intercepted, then almost caught. That was John Lucas that almost made the catch. Tim Williams was the one that had his hands on the ball for Oxon Hill. Let's see about the penalty. Might have been against the defense since the play was not blown dead. And all we can do is wait like you. No, it's an illegal procedure call against Bowie. And the penalty is declined. And that might be the game. Well, they're celebrating. I didn't think that was, I thought that was only a 1st down play. Clock says 43 seconds, but we don't have it officially. Everybody over on the Oxon Hill side is celebrating. What a game, what an excitement. Yeah, again, place kicking not usually a big part of the game at the high school level. It's an art, it's a very specialized skill. But place kicking making the difference in this one as Oxon Hill comes away with a victory, 9-8 on the last-minute field goal by Wayne Rumsey of 27 yards. Come from behind, never give up. Gutty performance by Oxon Hill, and hey, you got to give it to Bowie too, that hung in with the home team and lost by 1. Game played evenly. That was that game for the most part last week. Football apparently very competitive in the D.C. area this year. Prince George's County is always competitive. So Oxon Hill, the home team, pulls it out. And we have brought you a nail-biter. I sure enjoyed it, and we hope that you did. And we're going to have a wrap-up for you in a minute.